live on the air, the winner will be sent a signed copy of the book that I wrote, Aloha Magnum. Tune into the PM show with me, Larry Manetti, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. And on the line right now, we do have Peter Marshall, the legendary Peter Marshall, host of the Hollywood Squares, also star of stage and radio. And Peter, you were telling us a story here. It sounds like you got your start here in the military of all places, doing radio work as you were promoted to a sergeant. Kind of help us out understand the story here.
Well, what do you want to know? I sort of let you know what happened. This wonderful guy, this radio actor who befriended me, he got me this job, and there I was for a year and a half, and I stayed in Naples, and I don't want to do any war stories, but it was very sad. I had a place on Capri.
Wow!
I was dating a Red Cross girl, and she ran.
You're the only guy I know that was in World War II that had a ball.
It took me years to adjust to civilian life.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's wonderful.
I really lucked out, and I was 18 years old, and my goodness, I was just so lucky.
I'm surprised you didn't marry an Italian girl.
Well, there were some awfully pretty ones, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But no, I was going to go back and be a star in about an hour and a half.
So you had it all figured out.
Yeah, sure. It took a little longer.
Doesn't George Clooney live on Capri?
No.
But I've been back to Capri. When I was in Capri, there were only two hotels, the Quisisano and the Morgano, and I went back with Laurie recently. And the Morgano was gone, and it's so crowded. When I was there, you got to remember, it was during the war.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was nobody there, no tourists, of course. And I can go to Piccolo Marina, and it would be Molly McGuire, who was my girlfriend at the time, just be the two of us. And I went back, and you just couldn't move on the island. It's changed so.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you got to figure that during the war, I mean, Italy was our enemy, right?
Well, Italy was it was a mess. Let me tell you, it really was.
Beautiful country.
So, Peter, how did you get the job of hosting Hollywood Squares?
Well, it's kind of funny how it happened. When I got back from New York after doing a show called Skyscraper with Julie Harris, they called. I was doing all the. I was a spokesman. I had a television thing for Kellogg's, and you got to remember, for many years I was part of a comedy team called Noonan and Marshall. We were very popular in the 50s, and somebody saw a commercial and they said, "That's the guy I've been telling you about. He's the straight man with Tommy Noonan." And they called me the day after I got back from New York. Excuse me. And they called me in, and the last thing I wanted to do was a game show. I was going to go back and do another Broadway show. I was going to do Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Wow.
And they said, "Would you like to do a game show?" And I said, No, not really. But anyway, I auditioned, and they offered me this job. And the thing in New York fell through. So I figured, well, heck, it's 13 weeks' work, and there you go. And it wound up to be almost 16 years.
Amazing. That's amazing. How many stars do you think, roundabout, did that show?
I have a book. I don't know if it's out of print, but maybe you can get it on Kindle. I don't know. It's called Backstage with the Original Hollywood Square.
Oh, fun.
And it's all my whole story. It's not my autobiography. It's my years of doing squares, and in it I list every star that was on the show.
Oh, my.
And there were hundreds.
Yeah.
I mean, literally hundreds. You must remember I did almost 6,000 shows.
Oh.
6,000?
Yeah. I had people like, George C. Scott was on the show, and Ginger Rogers, and Gloria Swanson, and Walter Matthau, and George Sanders, and I mean, all the old, everybody was like. Glenn Ford was a regular on the show, and I had all these people. They wanted to do the show, and Milton Berle, of course, and all the great comics.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Did anyone
Groucho
ever
was
fall
on the show.
asleep
Groucho
in
Marx
one of
did
the
the show.
squares?
I'm sorry?
Did anyone ever fall asleep?
Yes. I'll tell you who fell asleep. What the heck's his name? He played the Jack
Klugman?
Palance.
Palance?
Jack Palance fell asleep
on the show.
Oh, boy.
I have a picture of him in my book.
Oh, that's
asleep.
great. That's great.
Funny.
That's funny. And who had to wake him up? I mean, you'd wind up with a 2-inch neck.
There you go. I forget who had to wake him up, but somebody woke him up.
Peter, we got to go to a break, buddy. I know that you're performing on the 5th of June at Vitello's, sold-out show, but if you guys are lucky enough out there, you have connections, you might still be able to sneak in. I know Larry's probably going to try to sneak in there. But Peter, is there a website we can keep up with you, all the stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, it's my website is boysinger.com.
Boysinger.com. Of course, we could order the CDs and keep up with you right there at the website. Peter, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today, buddy.
Well, thank you. And you know, Larry's an old pal of mine, and Nancy, and I miss seeing them. I don't see them.
I promise we'll have dinner, and good luck. And if I don't see you on the 5th, I will call you.
Thanks, Peter.